Okay, in this tutorial we're going to have a look at graphing our cubic functions. Okay, so anything that you've seen about factorising our functions, that sort of thing, from previous videos really needs to be applied to this. Okay, so we've got a couple of different forms that we're going to look at for doing our graphs. Okay, the first one is what we call the turning point form, if you like, for a quadratic. This time, if you like, it's our inflection point form. And it's simply y equals a outside of x take h cubed plus k. Right, now our general shape is given by this a value. So if a is positive, our shape is going to be generally like that. Okay. So if a is positive, think about it as you're walking up a positive gradient or riding up a positive gradient if you're a cyclist. If a is less than 0 or it's a negative value, then it's going to have this shape. Right. Now we have a stationary point of inflection at this point hk. Now, a stationary point of inflection. Okay, well, if we start with point of inflection, it means where we change from concave up to concave down. So this is what we call concave up and concave down. So the point where that switches is our point of inflection. It's a stationary point because our gradient is actually 0 at this point. Now, I probably haven't drawn it great here, okay, but we actually have a spot where it comes down and then it's actually flat for a second and keeps going down, where our gradient at our point of inflection equals 0. Okay, there's a whole big area study later on in the course about how to find those stationary points of inflection. Okay, and we have one x-intercept. Okay, in this form. Okay, we only get one. Okay, when we have a look at our general form, okay, our shape is still governed by this a value, so it's still all related to this. Okay, d is our y-intercept. Now we can have either 1, 2, or 3 x-intercepts. Now, it'll all come from actually factorising this. Okay, if we don't factorise this, we really can't graph it. Okay, because all we're going to get is our general shape and our y-intercept, but nothing else. So we need to be able to factorise it. Okay, so if it's in this form, which is really a simplified version of our turning point form, it's going to look like this. Okay, and this is going to be our y-intercept. Okay, and you can see it's got that cubic shape. That'll be sort of important later on. Okay, when we have a look at this one, we have 2. So we have one intercept that we say is linear, it's like a straight line based off this one, because the power of that bracket is 1. Okay, so it's a linear intercept there. This one, you can see it just comes down, just touches and goes back up. And it comes about from having a term that's squared. Now if you think about it, this kind of looks like a quadratic coming down and back up. Okay, and that's the way to remember it. This one's like a straight line coming through, so that factor is just the power of 1, or we don't bother with writing one up there. Okay, and this one, it looks like a quadratic, okay, so it's actually that term there is going to be squared. And then we can have the case where we've got 3 linear factors, so all to the power of 1, and as you can see, straight line, straight line, straight line, linear sort of intercepts. Okay, this one is what we call a cubic intercept, and you'll see ones like that when we get to quartics coming up in a little bit. Okay, so this is the general sort of shape and what they can sort of look like, but let's actually get into some examples of how to sketch them. So we've got 2 examples here that we're going to have a look at. Okay, the first one is sketching the graph of y equals 2 outside of x take 3, so that should be cubed, plus 4. Okay, so this is in our inflection sort of language, or form. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to switch a sign here, so our point of inflection, is going to be at 3, 4. So we know we're going to go through that point. Okay. Now we also know that it's positive. Okay, so we're going to have this sort of shape to it, like that sort of shape. Now I'm not going to put it in yet though, because we haven't actually worked out any x or y intercepts out of this. Okay, so our y intercept is simply going to come from x equaling 0. So y intercept. Okay, it's going to be that. Is when x equals 0. Okay, so we get y equals 2 times -3 cubed plus 4. Okay, well -3 cubed is -27 times 2 is -54 plus 4. It's going to be -50. So that's way down here. Okay, it's way down here somewhere. Okay, so what that tells us though is I'm pretty safe to do something like this in terms of drawing it. Okay, and we're going to intercept way down there somewhere that we can't see. I didn't want to draw it beforehand because we could actually have a positive value for our y-intercept, which means we will then stretch out this way. Could have been something like that, which would have been fine, but we now know it's negative. On the outside, it gives us an idea that our x-intercept is somewhere between 0 and 3. So we do that by letting y equal 0. 0 equals 2 times x take 3 cubed plus 4. Okay, so then we can say negative 4 equals 2 times x take 3 cubed. Divide by 2. Negative 2 equals x take 3 cubed. So we've got to actually take the cube root of negative 2. We're allowed to take the cube root of something, we're just not allowed to take the square root of it. Okay, and that equals to x take 3. So x is going to have this intercept of the cube root of negative 2 plus 3. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure what that value is. It's going to be a negative number, okay, plus 3, so I don't think that's going to be a very big negative number, so we can see we're going to be in there somewhere. Okay, I should have checked what this value was going to be with the calculator. I don't have one handy. Okay, scale might be slightly out there, but this value here, okay, is that cubed root of negative 2 plus 3. Okay, and we know if we kept on going down that our y-intercept would be negative 50. Okay, so that's that first one. The second one we've got here is sketch a graph of the function x cubed plus 2x squared take 5x take 6. Now from here we know that again we've got a positive value. Okay, so we're going to have this shape. We know that our y-intercept is going to be negative 6. But that's it. I've got no other information to go off. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to either put it in this form or put it in our other factorised form. Now, we don't actually have a completing the cube type process like we do with quadratics for completing the square, so we're going to have to factorise this, and that means that we're going to have to use division of polynomials. Okay, so what we need to do is find a factor first. Now, if you're not sure how to do division of polynomials, check out some of my other videos that go through the process in a bit more detail. But what we need to do is find a number that we can sub in here and have it equal to 0. Okay? Now again, because of the scope of the course, our numbers that we should test are between negative 3 and positive 3. Okay? We shouldn't have anything outside that. Okay? And if we actually have a look here, negative 1 will actually work because we get negative 1 plus 2 plus 5 take 6. That will in fact equal 0. So now negative 1 works, which means we've got to change our signs. Make it, I'll do it over here, x plus 1. So remember, I've always got to change that sign, and we're dividing that into x cubed plus 2x squared take 5x take 6. So remember, we go x cubed divided by x is x squared. Multiply back through, we get x cubed plus x squared, bracket, bracket, take away line underneath. X cubed take x cubed is 0. 2x squared take x squared is x squared. Bring everything else down. Take 5x take 6. Okay, x squared divided by x will give us just x. Okay, multiply back through, we're going to get x squared plus x, bracket, bracket, take away line underneath. X squared take x squared is 0 like we need. Negative 5x take x will give us negative 6x take 6. Okay, by bringing that down, negative 6x divided by x will leave us with negative 6. Okay, multiply back through, negative 6x take 6, bracket, bracket, take away, line underneath. Okay, negative 6x take negative 6x is 0, and negative 6 take negative 6 is also 0, which is what we needed. So at the moment we've got it in the form x plus 1 times by x squared plus x take 6. Okay, which we have factorised as quadratic now. Okay, which we can see is going to be x plus 3, x take 2. Okay. And remember, we're solving this for 0, so now we can say from our null factor law that x equals negative 1, negative 3, or positive 2. Okay, so now we know that we're going through negative 3, negative 1, and positive 2. Okay, and we know we go through negative 6 here. Okay. Just move that over here so it's out of the way a little bit. Because remember, our general shape is like that. If I put that 3 in the wrong spot too. Because I'm going to be coming up. That general shape that I know we've got down. Now we're coming through negative 6. going to come down a little bit further than that because we know 2 is further away from the origin than -1, so we know we're going to keep coming down a little bit before coming back up. Something like that. Okay? So you can see that we've had to actually use our knowledge of division of polynomials in order to be able to sketch this graph. So as I said, if that's something that's a bit of a weakness, check out some of my other videos. Okay, now we need to move on to, if we're given a graph, how do we find the equation? Okay, so here we're given a graph, okay, and we're told that our stationary point of inflection is at -2, -3. Right, so clearly we're going to use this form. Okay, and now we know what our h and k values are, so we can say, well, y equals ax plus 2 cubed, take 3. Okay, so remember our sign always just changes, so we're going from -2 to +2 because there's take h. Okay, now we need to work out what this a value is though. We might be going, well, we've got all the information, we've used it all, and in fact we haven't used the knowledge that our graph goes to the origin there. So in order to find this a value, we need to sub in some other point. That point for us is going to be 0, 0. Right, so 0 equals a outside of 0 plus 2 cubed, take 3. So 0 equals, well, 2 cubed is 8, so we've got 8a, take 3. Then we're going to have 3 equals 8a. So a is going to simply equal 3 on 8. So putting it all together now, we can say that y equals 3 on 8 x plus 2 cubed, take 3. Okay, so we managed to get there with this one. Okay, now we'll have a look at this one here. Okay, and see what we've got to work with. Okay, so we've got in our factorised form here. That we can see. Okay, we're not told whether our stationary point of inflection is because we don't have one in this case. We've got 2 stationary points, okay, and we've got a point of inflection that's in the middle here, but not actually a stationary point of inflection. Okay, so we know that we've got a couple of intercepts here. Now we can use a fair bit of knowledge here to work this out. So we can say, well, we've got y equals a. We've always got that a, which is a dilation factor, which we do more about our transformations a bit later on. But we know we've got a factor here that is going to be x plus 2, because remember we've got to change our signs. And we've got one here that's x take 3. Now what we know here is this is one of our linear factors here. Okay, so this one's going to have a power of 1 on it. This one is like a quadratic. Okay, this intercept here, so we need to put that as a power of 2. That's how we get to our degree 3 that we needed. Now again we need to find this a value. How do we find it? I'll use this y-intercept knowledge. So we know when y is 5, x is 0. So we can say we can say 5 actually. 5 equals a times 0 plus 2 times 0, take 3 squared. We can say here that we've got 5 equals a times 2 times by 9. 5 equals 18a. So a equals 5 on 18. Right, again, we're not done because we actually need to write it out properly. So y equals 5 on 18 outside of x plus 2 and x take 3 squared. So this is just a few examples of how to sketch our cubics as well as how to find our equation when we're given a graph. So hopefully this helps you out.